Good morning and welcome to the Living with Cancer podcast series Beyond the Diagnosis. This morning we're interviewing Lisha Nunan, who has been interviewed before on a previous podcast. This is episode number 6. Welcome, Lisha. Lovely to have you on our podcast series again.
Good morning, Belinda. It's always a pleasure to be part of your podcast series. And thank you for this opportunity.
Awesome. So could we start off with a little bit about your background, when you were diagnosed? I know you have told us the story, but just kind of an edited, highlighted version of what happened, just to update us. And then also, where are you currently now in your journey?
So I was diagnosed in 2007 with papillary carcinoma of the thyroid. I've had a complete thyroidectomy, and now we are 18 years later, and I can share some good news. I'm much stronger. Obviously, there's no recurrence of cancer. We've also managed to go off meds. I have a healthier body, and I have better lifestyle. So that's where I am today.
So, Lisha, you were diagnosed at a very young age. And this not only had an impact on you emotionally and physically, but also from an entire lifestyle change. And today we're going to be focusing on how your cancer impacted your body specifically, and you know how it impacted your everyday lifestyle. So talk to us a little bit about the age, what happened, and how it impacted you.
I was 25 in 2007. I was living abroad, so it was a different environment. And you know, you're young and into beauty, and outer beauty means a lot to you. I was a small person, and I think I weighed about 47 at that time. And there were so many things happening to the body, like you would feel ugly. I had a lack of vitamin D and lack of calcium. So there was a lot of like dryness of the skin, itching of the skin, like flaking of the skin. So that on the outer part of the body made you very conscious, losing a lot of body weight. So on a mental level and emotional, you would feel ugly. I think ugly is the right word to use, because at that age, you're really into conscious and outer appearance. So the self-esteem, confidence is low. It was very draining. But looking back at it now, it's like a bit silly, because you grow up and you see the world is also changing. Outer beauty is not so popular at the moment. People are realizing that it's inner beauty.
Beautiful. So maybe we can just start off with, how does cancer treatment change the way people see and experience their bodies, in your opinion?
Wow, that's a big one, because from a fit person, a person that's like active, into sport, nice shiny hair, shiny skin, glowing, it just takes one treatment and everything changes. You lose that positivity, that bright glow, that smile disappears. And finding that smile takes a long time. Finding that, that feeling, beauty is not only on the surface. I learned that it starts in the mind. And it's only when the mind is happy and accepting do you actually feel the beauty. So from the mind, it goes to your heart, and then your heart starts feeling this feeling of love. Self-love is the word. So that whole experience of losing all that beautiful feeling from the heart, the mind to the body, you become ugly, dark, almost like you just don't want to go out Even if the sun is out, you want to hide in your room. That's what cancer does to a person. It makes you want to shut off even from the closest family that you have.
So, Lisha, if I think back and some of the other individuals that I've spoken to, you know, women with breast cancer, you know, people that have had, you know, colon cancer, it's been significant changes to their body. And if I think about from my perspective, you know, I had an abdominal surgery, and I'll never have that flat tummy again. So I put a beautiful tattoo on my abdomen of a feather to almost cover it up to some degree, because it became difficult for me to see the scar. And I think if we think about cancer treatment, how it scars your body actually in multiple ways. You know, sometimes from the operations, but also from, you know, when losing your hair, losing your eyebrows, losing your eyelashes, changing sometimes the whole shape of your body. If you think about from your own perspective, again, you know, at 25 and now, you know, 18 years later, how in your opinion do you think someone can cope with that from an emotional perspective?
Belinda, you spoke about scars. You had a tummy scar, right? So you could cover it with clothes. I have a throat scar. And I remember in the initial stages, like standing in the queue in Woolies to pay, and somebody like close by notices, and then they turn around and have a chat. They're like, "Oh, did you have a thyroidectomy? My doctor told me that." And like just from seeing the scar, people pick on you or they find out. So I had a very visible scar, and it took a long time to disappear. It was almost like I had to accept the scar is my new body, my new skin, and look beyond it. So yes, there is physical scars, and not all scars that you can cover up. Because I live in Durban, and Durban is really hot. So if you're wearing a scarf in Durban, it's gonna be quite funny and ridiculous. So, so scars are very evident, and we can't always hide these things. So cancer was like something hidden. I think now that we're in 2025, it's not a hidden concept anymore. It's people embrace this. It's not like, oh, I've heard of cancer, but it's not going to come to me. People are aware now that there's a possibility that maybe 1 in 3 in the family has some sort of cancer. And it's also something that people know we can fight now.
100%. So I think before as well, probably 18 years ago, it was much more difficult, because I think, you know, there was less acceptance, where now women that have mastectomies are comfortable enough to show, you know, even those scars. And I think we've become a lot less almost judgmental on, oh, look at that. I remember walking around with a bandana and people, and that wasn't even that long ago, you know, 8 years ago. People would look at me and I would be quite self-conscious. So I think we're definitely in a phase within the world that a lot more is acceptable, which I think does make a difference. But you yourself, you feel very self-aware of what people say, what people think. And you know within yourself that the pain that you're going through, and you spoke about it earlier, that actually, the moment you shift your thinking to say, it's not about what's on the outside, it's about what's on the inside, that beauty starts to shine through anyway. So talk to me a little bit about
I agree.
Okay, sorry.
No. I agree. And I think the shift is also that when we start thinking that way, or you self-aware or conscious, it's also our energy is dropping. So you had to learn, or for me in particular, I had to learn when I'm feeling that, how to raise my energy. Because we're all human, but there are ways to raise your energy. So if you put a song on that you love and just dance it out, or go and look in nature. If you just look at the clouds, walk around trees, somehow it changes in you. You start to see this natural beauty, and then you feel beautiful. It's about the switch. I think reading all these self-help books, listening to podcasts, and trying different methods have led me to that way, that there is ways and switches to change your energy and how to do it. Yes, we're human. It will last for a short time, but we don't get stuck anymore. And I think in the past, we used to be stuck, even being judgmental or what society thought. I must admit, when I was diagnosed, the one thing I hated was when you shared that you had cancer, people would say, "Oh, so sorry to hear," and they would give sympathy. Now I see people saying that when they hear about cancer, "Wow, she's a warrior, she's beating it, she's so strong." So that words have changed, and words have vibrations.
Beautiful.
So
So that's wonderful. So you spoke a little bit about, how do you reconnect with your body? And you spoke about, connecting with nature and music. Do you want to talk a little bit? I know that you're a yoga instructor. Do you want to talk a little bit about, how to go about that in a more practical level? A couple of weeks ago, I know it's been a concept that's been around for a while, but I came across this thing called earthing, where you literally get in touch with nature, and you walk on the ground and you reconnect with earth. So talk to us a little bit about the benefits of yoga, and not just yoga specifically, but it's the breathing, it's the meditation, it's the lifestyle, and it's the outlook. So talk to us a little bit about those benefits and how important that is.
So yes, I'm a yoga teacher. Something that I thought I would never do, because I had an osteo body. I mean, the neck, the spine, the hip. I had a lot of bone density issues. And it is because I started breathing techniques and light meditation and I used to do yoga, but not as much. And eventually the body started to improve. And now I'm able to do yoga and instruct other people, but in a very holistic way. So yoga is not just body postures. Yoga is way more than that. Yoga is the breath. It all starts with the breath. How we breathe. The more correct you breathe, slow, long breaths, helps you to stretch more and be more flexible. And yoga doesn't have to be done only on the mat. Yoga can be done on a chair. You get chair yoga now. You get desktop yoga. You get eye yoga. So exploring yoga became a journey for me. And it's now part of my routine. It's a discipline. I also I'm an Art of Living happiness teacher. So there we learn a breathing technique called sky breathing technique. You can lung from the first lobe to the second lobe all the way up. So we increase the lung capacity from 30% to almost 50%. And practicing this yogic breath, the sky technique, the postures have helped me increase the oxygen in my body, remove the toxins, all the toxins that I put into my body for my cancer treatment, increase my immune system. It's given me better sleep, more confidence. So it's totally transformed me. We have a lot of evidence-based research on these techniques. The whole world is moving to yoga right now. And it doesn't have to be like a gym workout. There's tailored yoga postures and breathing techniques for every health condition. Even now, I'm working on a program to introduce it for students in campus. How lovely to start early and change your body. But as Belinda said, it's okay, yoga is the exercise and the mind part, but it also involved me changing my food patterns and my diet. So it's a combination. And you know, cancer was a blessing. If this didn't happen, I wouldn't pay so much of attention to all this detail. I'm actually a fully vegetarian now. So I went from living, a meat diet. I love seafood. I love prawns. And I've given everything up. And it wasn't a conscious decision. It was a happening. As I practiced breathing, yoga, eventually the body said, okay, let's give up this meat. Let's give up eggs. And I also noticed as you age, I was 25 in 2007. I'm now 43. The body system cannot tolerate to digest meat and certain things. You will see like fresh vegetables, it's easy digestible. You can test it. Have a vegetable, see how much of energy you have, and then go have meat. It makes you lethargic. But if somebody had to tell me these things, I would not believe them. It was a journey that I had to experience on my own. I have the most beautiful body at 43, healthy skin, healthy hair. I must say, I always thought you need to be like slim and trim, but I'm putting up a lot of weight. I'm weighing 65. It was a shock to me, but I feel good. Another thing Linda did not touch on is that in cancer, we have this chronic fatigue. And that I suffered with. I really suffered. Now at 43, I can wake up feeling refreshed. Before, I wouldn't be able to even open my eyes. I'd be tired. I had constant body pain. I think every part of the body pained. I would like to lie down most of the time. Lying flat was the best position. So it's a big change, but it all starts with acceptance, looking at your diet, your body, and trying different things. There's so much out there. There's yoga, there's Pilates, there's Reiki healing. I'm now doing a treatment called murmur healing. We touch light points in the body, and through this light touch, we can remove blockages in organs, emotional blockages, your chakras. So it's a whole combination of things in the world out there, and having this open mindset. Also on the mind, it's about working through your past. See, you can't heal if you don't work through conflicts you have, family members, work colleagues, friends, issues. And there's always a right and wrong, or you just have to compromise and accept. Because many times we're holding on to issues from the past and we're bringing them to the future, or we're holding on to the future and we forget to be in the now. Also, when you breathe, it brings you into the now. When you focus on your breath, when you do yoga, you're coming to the now. So it's bringing yourself to the now, which is very important, and working through all those dark garbage that I carry. We got to let go. Like you take your garbage can out once a week or daily, you got to take out the mental and emotional garbage. And that takes a lot of work. You need to be brave and courageous. But also, we don't have to do these things alone. There's lots of people out there. There's life coaches, there's tools. It's about being open. So it's a lot of hard work, Belinda, but it's good. It's all worth it.
Lisha, I just love how you spoke about how we need to reconnect with the body, but it's not just the physical body, it's the holistic view. It's all layers, the emotional, the mental, the physical, what you put in your body, the time you spend just from a mental perspective, and also relationships. And I think what that says is that you also said something really profound is, you're okay, that you're quite almost happy that you got the cancer, because it's literally changed your entire outlook. It's changed your, the direction of where you've gone from a career perspective, and what you've done. So I think it's really beautiful that you've got to the point of self-acceptance, but more than that, reconnecting with who you are from a very, very deep core. Is there a shift that happens? Do you recall the time where that switch happened, or is it a progressive? How do you get there is basically what I'm asking.
I think during COVID, it's when the shift happened. We had that time to actually relax a bit, and the world stopped. And then there was also these opportunities that arrived. Many things were done online. You had more time and you had access. People were sharing skills, talents, and abilities. And some of the things were for free. So the humanity had changed. People were not chasing money. They were ready to share, ready to empower the world. And for me, the shift happened then. I did the yoga training during that time. I discovered that I had a normal spine at that time. So it was a big shift. Also, the career shift happened because I was in corporate and I was, chasing that corporate. And then I realized now that I'm only interested in mental wellness. And you need very little to love. If you live and if you do good, your needs are taken care of. The universe listens to you. And there's a lot in the universe for everybody. We just have to be open to it.
Beautiful.
It's almost like after COVID, fear disappeared. Like that self-doubt and fear that we hold on to, those are the things that create the cancer, I think, in us. Because I didn't have any confidence. I wasn't a confident person to speak. Now I'm teaching classes. I'm standing in front of people. I'm doing a podcast. I would never do these things.
So let's just go to that specific area about confidence. So how do societal expectations around health and beauty affect survivors' self-image and confidence? And you spoke about your shift. You spoke about the fact that you were almost forced into that space, but also you got to a point of acceptance of saying, okay, this is what I've got. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leverage off what's been given to me. So maybe talk a little bit about that.
So confidence obviously affects your beauty, the beauty of the body and the outer appearance. And I think that's taken a long time for me. As I told you, I put on weight now, but I can walk out confidently now. Like I don't feel that I have this excess weight, or I'm not conscious of how I look, what I'm wearing. I think there was also a change in the style of clothes that you wear eventually. When you're in your 20s, you want to wear everything that's trendy. And then to wear trendy stuff, you need to have that type of body. I notice a style change in me personally, as well as in the world. I notice clothes now, if you go into any of the stores, there's so many beautiful types of clothes for all body shapes. So that's making it easy for us to accept the body. Before, if you looked into a store, the clothes were like thin, skimpy clothes, and the styles were not for bigger sizes. Even if you think of breast cancer now, there's bras and underwear that is designed for breast cancer survivors, which makes you feel sexy and love yourself. The type of fabric that's used on clothes, it makes a difference. I must say, I'm moving more to cotton, because cotton is better for the body, especially when you have dry skin and you've gone through all these skin irritations. You're going to look at the quality of the fabric, what's put in it, can you breathe in it? So there's a very big change in the clothes industry. I even noticed in swimwear. Normally, before, when you have cancer, you wouldn't want to wear a swimming costume or go into a pool or go onto the beach. But now people are proud. Even me, I feel fine. There's all these extra things that you can wear over your swimming costume, and it's comfortable. So there's a whole shift in clothing. There's a shift in makeup. There's so many vegan-friendly makeup. There's so many skin-friendly makeup that you can use when you're having cancer treatment. That wasn't there maybe 10 years ago. All these things building up our confidence, so we can dress up, feel good, and walk out proudly. The world is changing.
So what advice can you give someone who has gone through a cancer journey? There's been a significant change in their body. loss of hair, loss of eyelashes, loss of eyebrows, operations, skin textures change, hair textures changed, sometimes loss of weight, and then either putting on weight. What advice can you give them in how do they go about accepting their cancer body and now living with the new norm?
It's very hard. At that stage, you're so angry with everybody. You're angry with the earth. You're angry with your body. So any advice you give, it's just not going to be heard because they are feeling low and down. I think you can't give advice. You can give comfort or say that, maybe share somebody's personal testimonial who's been there and how they've recovered. But also the world is changing. Like the future of medicine is changing. It's moving away from treating the illness, but discovering how the body can heal itself. So I would say, yes, all this is happening to you. Listen to it, feel it, embrace the changes. But also know that in life, everything changes. There's a good time and bad time, and nothing lasts forever. If you notice, if you haven't experienced losing, you would not appreciate winning. So that's my advice. But it depends. Different individuals will take it differently, depending where you're mentally, emotionally, or physical at that time. Or just give love. You got to just give the person a physical touch of a good, tight hug, so they can feel that you love them and they are lovable.
Lisha, you are such a ray of hope and positivity, and you're just glowing with, almost a new lease on life. That just, it's beautiful to just see this energy. And, I just thank you for embracing the journey and giving other people hope. Are there any final words of wisdom? You seem to have taken on a whole different lifestyle. I'm sure that fasting is even part of that lifestyle. I know there's a big thing around fasting as well, and how you use fasting to fight some of this cancer. So any words of wisdom for someone that's just been diagnosed, and then also someone that's, post the diagnosis, now how do you move on from there?
I would say just embrace the journey. It's something that we just have to go through with a lot of strength and courage, and just reach out to as many people that you can, knowing that there are people out there. For post journey, well done. You are brave. You fought this, and there's so much more out there. Let's give back to the world. Let's help others. Let's share your story.
So it's about acceptance. It's about knowledge. It's about asking for help, so being vulnerable, and then also it's about, once you've gone through that process and the treatment, celebrating.
Yes, celebrate each day. Celebrate each day, each win.
Yes, exactly. And then saying, okay, I've got to this point. How can I help someone else? And I think that also goes with the appreciation of knowing that you've got through it. So how do you help others get through it? So beautiful, beautiful words. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining in yet another podcast. Thank you for sharing, and please keep on shining and sharing and giving back. It really has. I can see the impact that it's made, not only on you, but people around you. So thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. Keep doing this great work. You're so inspiring to all of us. Lots of love.
Thank you.